Yes, sir.
I got a little gin and tonic too. I'm on my gin and tonic grind right now.
That sounds lovely. This
It,
weather's just perfect out.
that's what I'm
Pop a
saying,
little
dude.
window open.
I
Oh,
got the
man.
two. You can't really tell. I got the two round ice cubes in here. Very classy. Very fucking
Fuck
classy by
yes.
me.
Fuck yes.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Totally Biased Music, and we're your hosts, Blake and Christian. And yet again, we are apologizing for the extensive delay that we have taken in between episodes. You know,
Randy, are you alive? Are you dead? We don't know at all.
yeah, we were supposed to have Randy on, but he is MIA, so I hope everything is well with him. And yeah, it's look, schedules are tough, all right? We're busy, we got shit to do. So we'll fucking do the pod whenever we feel like doing the fucking pod, all right? And you guys will sit
Yeah.
there and listen to it, okay?
Exactly.
So today, wait, first off, Christian, I need to know, how do you say the name of this fucking album?
I think it's Meteora, right?
Meteora? That sounds right to me now that I look at it. Okay, so we're doing
How are you going to pronounce it?
So you said Meteora? I don't know. I was thinking like Meteora maybe, but that doesn't sound right now that I'm looking at the word. It's got to be Meteora.
Damn. Now I'm like curious. But that's got to be it, right?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's it.
Yeah. So we're reviewing Meteora by Linkin Park. Hopefully that is the way you pronounce it. Otherwise, that's going to be really embarrassing. There's not really an intro, but just some brief info on it. Meteora is the second studio album by American rock band Linkin Park. It was released on March 25th, 2003 through Warner Bros. Records. The album was produced by the band alongside Don Gilmore. The title Meteora is taken from the Greek Orthodox monasteries originally bearing the name. Meteora has a similar sound to Hybrid Theory as described by the critics, and the album took almost a year to be recorded. It's the first Linkin Park studio album to feature bassist Dave Farrell after he rejoined the band in 2000 following his temporary touring with other bands. So, Christian, you picked Meteora. Tell us your thought process, how often you've listened to it, things of that nature.
I actually don't, and I don't know why it came up out of nowhere, but I think a while back you and I had just talked about, like, oh, fucking these Linkin Park, I think because we were talking about the Jay-Z, the Linkin Park Jay-Z, and it just fucking is gangster, and then I went back and we had to kind of pick something up on the spot today, and I was like, let's do fucking Linkin Park, and this album, along with Hybrid Theory, I mean, 2000, 2003. So when this came out, I was like 12. So it is just such a staple of like my childhood, along with every other kid from like a middle income family that thought they had it rough.
Yeah.
And also thought
exactly.
that like aggressive inline skating was cool.
Yeah.
So
this is exactly that type of music.
I don't know how I didn't get my ass just beat growing up on a daily basis, because like
you grew up in a rough area cool, too, dude.
Yeah, just like the repressed rage and sadness, like big time match the energy that I thought I had. But this album is very much that. It was weird. I haven't gone back and listened to like Hybrid Theory or Meteora. I couldn't even tell you. I don't know if I've listened to them all the way through. I mean, they have their banger tracks. The first time I probably heard about it was like probably on a Tony Hawk Pro Skater game.
Yeah, 100%.
But going back through, or I mean, I guess back in the day too, when MTV used to just like nonstop play fucking music videos all day. That was probably actually what happened. But going back through and listening, first off, this shit fucking bangs. It's sad. It's angry. It's all these things wrapped into one.
Yep.
The cadence, though, I was like, this is way too close to Limp Bizkit cadence. And I'm not sure if it's like a name thing, because they spell the biscuit with a Z, and the Lincoln is spelled like we linking up in the park.
Right.
So maybe that's what it
Very
is.
Similar
I'm not
themes
sure.
There. Some slang being thrown in there.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, I think my first time with Linkin Park were one of the songs that I had sent you earlier, that By Myself. That motherfucker is hard.
Yeah. Yeah,
On
dude,
Hybrid Theory, I'm gonna be fucking ripping that on leg day tomorrow.
yeah, I want to after listening to this, I really want to go back and listen to Hybrid Theory all the way through because I haven't listened to
Sheesh.
Hybrid Theory all the way through, and I had to have been like 12, 13 the last time I listened to that album. I definitely owned Linkin Park albums. Like it was the same thing. Like my life's so hard, man. Nobody understands. Just gonna throw on some Linkin Park and just vibe, bro, you know? So I would be interested to go back and listen to it, but like it really is, I feel like, a staple of I feel like every millennial went through a Linkin Park phase. Like it has to
Yeah.
be every single one of us. And so there's
And even
always
if
that.
you didn't, and then when they dropped the Jay-Z, so if you didn't have the OG original, like going into Linkin Park, when they did the Jay-Z shit, like that was, everybody was on board. Everybody's like, oh, I can fuck with this.
Yeah, it was like I saw a meme one time that was like, do you remember when Jay-Z and Linkin Park teamed up and all the hip hop kids and the emo kids teamed up for like a week?
It's so fucking accurate.
So fucking good. But yeah, I mean, man, I gotta tell you, I'm this is a little bit of a spoiler, but dude, it was real tough to pick bottom tracks for this album because holy shit, the whole thing
man.
just goes so hard. And I forgot how like in tune with my musical preference this type of music is. Like hard ass fucking rock music, rap music intertwined into it. Like there's so much about Linkin Park and this album in particular that just hits the fucking nail on the head that the entire time I was listening to it, I was like, why have I not been listening to this for the past fucking 10 years?
I was like sending them back. I was sending them to the tracks to my brother. I was like, dude, you got to get back on a Linkin Park kick because this is where it's at.
Straight up. And I actually saw them in Atlanta when I was probably 14 at the time. My dad took me, and I went with Todd and my friend Jack, and it was phenomenal, dude. They put on a great live show, so it's been a trip down memory lane for sure. But anyway, what do you have for your top 3 tracks? This was also really difficult for me.
Yeah, I mean, Line from You, just a classic, absolute banger. That the start out to that track is so recognizable, like that intro. I can't pretend I'm who you want me to be, so I'm lying my way from you. Like fucking,
oh, you know, right in the fucking
12-year-old me,
yeah,
12-year-old me, and 32-year-old me. We still resonate, baby.
Exactly.
This is a weird one that I don't even know if I'd listened to before, but it's my number 2 now after going back and re-listening. It's Figure 9. And there's something about the intro of this song that it's like this Linkin Park style, but to me it was like if Tron, the soundtrack from the new Tron movie, and Tool fucked and made a baby.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like weird electronic-y in the middle, but goes like super hard. I'm like, okay, this is fucking killer. And then Faint. It's just another, like, the amount of classic fucking heaters on this album is just insane.
Yeah, and what's crazy is you didn't even pick the ones that like I expected you to pick, the ones that everybody loves from this album. You left out the 3 most popular songs on the whole fucking album.
I know. You've got Numb, you've got From the Inside, which fucking rips too. Like, I mean, all these fucking tracks. So I had like From the Inside, I had Numb, like all those are just classic Linkin Park songs. So those are my top 3.
Yeah, those are solid picks. I forgot that Somewhere I Belong is on this album, and I just like put it on to my drive, like when I was driving earlier, and I just turned it off shuffle and let it play through. When I heard that fucking first intro, like notes to Somewhere I Belong, I was like, dude, I forgot this song is on this fucking album. Yes. I love that song. Somewhere I Belong is so good, so easily in my top 3. And then a new one for me, Hit the Floor, dude. Hit the Floor is just balls to the wall fucking aggressive to me. Like it's prime, it's the perfect combination of what we were talking about earlier. Like there's the hip-hop aspect to it, like the rapping in it, and then when what's the lead singer's name, Chester Bennington, I think.
The one who killed himself.
Yeah, when he comes in, he's just going full like
just
straight
full tilt.
screaming, dude. And it just
Jinx
gets
just
me.
popped up so hard behind you when you did
She's
that.
like, what the fuck are you doing? But yeah, I love, man, Hit the Floor is easily, that's a new one for me to like have an obsession with, but it's really great. And then a more cliche for me, Breaking the Habit. Breaking the Habit is also like an OG great Linkin
Yeah.
Park song, and it just really never fucking gets old to me. But there are so many honorable mentions. Like you have to mention Numb, easy, like
Yeah.
Faint, of course. Faint is fucking great. Like there's just so many, and even like Don't Stay, really the first track, kind of, if you didn't know Linkin Park and you went to listen to this album, like you would get to Don't Stay and you'd be like, okay, I know what I'm in for now, which is what we talk about a lot with intro tracks, is like that's what we're expecting, something that kind of cues us up for what we're about to listen to. So yeah, those are my top three and honorable mentions, man. So many good songs.
Fuck yeah.
So the harder part, the bottom songs. What did you have for bottom songs?
So I actually had Numb on there because there's one with Jay-Z on it, and I think in my head I'm so used to that version that it's not like putting it on the bottom, but if I had to, it was like they took this great song and fucking just, VIP'd that bitch.
Yep.
And it just doesn't live up to the original anymore.
Yeah.
And I only have two. So my second one is Nobody's Listening. It was just like, it's almost a good song. And they used this flute sample in it that's like these Arabian Nights, and it's just I have an ick with that like Arabian Nights style fucking flute sample, and anything I hear I can't do it.
I think I've heard you say something similar to that before, so that's not surprising to me. You really harp on like little things in tracks that you do not fuck with, and it ruins the whole song for you.
The whole song, yeah. And that Arabian Night styled flute, I'm like, all right, we fucking get it.
Yeah,
you took this from an episode of Aladdin. Like, let's move on.
Easy. Like, we know where we got this sample from. So I only had two as well. So Easier to Run was one of mine. It's like the only slow song on the album, and like I like a break from the chaos sometimes, but I didn't want the break this time around, man. The album, I was so roped in, and like it goes from Lying, like Somewhere I Belong, Lying From You, to Hit the Floor, which is just like pedal to the fucking metal, and then Easier to Run comes on, and it just like it takes me out of it. So
I think like a lot of their songs have these slow, like I feel like when you're listening to an album that is kind of full tilt, you're like, okay, it's nice to have a reprieve, it's nice to have a change of pace, but all of their songs have this cadence of fucking chaos to these beautiful quiet melodies that lead you into that chaos. So it's like you don't need it. Yeah. So you get to this and you're like, okay, like we could skip this. Like I'm getting parts of what I need from that in all these songs.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. I didn't even think about it like that. But it's true. It's not like, it's not like a fucking Limp Bizkit album or like a Rage Against the Machine album. They do a nice job of intertwining kind of those breaks within the songs themselves, and then just dropping shit on your head out of nowhere that just fucking blows you away.
Dude, when they fucking drop that shit on these, it is fucking, it's screamo fucking balls to the wall. I'm like, let's fucking go.
And like, it's weird because typically like you guys know that I like heavy music. Like I love Metallica, I love Nirvana, I love Tool, but like I don't really listen to what I would consider like screaming music. And this is kind of like this is borderline like screamo music at points, but it fucking works so well. Like his voice is just, oh my god, it's so
not
good.
Like overwhelming, and it's like it's so much emotion in it. And like what I was saying earlier, I think it works because they bring, it's like being at a Journey kind of live set where there are these ebbs and flows, and he does that perfectly through these songs that when it does hit, you're like, fucking yes.
Yeah, exactly. And then my other bottom track was also Nobody's Listening. just didn't win me over much. But like, I'm nitpicking because I liked the album so much. Like, I just had to find something to be like, yeah, that's on the bottom. So I threw it. Nobody's listening. But like, in
Yeah.
reality, it's really not a bad song.
If that flute sample wasn't there, it wouldn't even be in mine. So,
Yeah, exactly. Um, so I do want to like kind of talk about before I have album sales and things like that and some reviews, but where do you rank this comparing it to other artists that are similar, like somebody like Limp Bizkit, or even I would even throw in Rage Against the Machine in there because Rage Against the Machine has very similar like hip hop, heavy metal elements to it. Like, where do you think Linkin Park ranks within those types of bands and kind of the bands that were coming out in the early 2000s?
within the ones that you like just gave, for example, I think I'd go Rage 1, Linkin Park 2, Limp Bizkit 3. Like, look, man, with the political aspect and like, I guess, insight that Rage gives and the presentation, there's not something that's better other than this like Linkin Park, because it's extremely introspective with a ton of emotion. And then you have Limp Bizkit. Well, yeah, those songs fucking ride, but 90% of those songs are like, I'm gonna slash your ass with a chainsaw, and you're like, okay, you know, how many times am I listening to this?
Yeah, we get it. You did it for the nookie. All right, we
You
understand.
did it for the nookie, and that's perfectly fine. It has its place. But yeah, like that's kind of how I rank that.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And I think like the key difference between all of them to me is similar music styles, but Rage was very political in their music, and that was always their intent, right? To take a political stance and make a political statement. And Lincoln's whole genre and whole type of music was more like appealing to emotion and like personal things that were going on with them, and it kind of taps into people's like emotional aspects, which is why us sad boys really relate to it so much. Like, I think Rage is a better band. I think they have a more important message, but you can't like disregard the fact that Linkin Park use that emotion to tap into something special. And then Limp Bizkit's Limp Bizkit. They're just talking about fucking nonsense half the time,
Yeah. I think for like Rage 2, it's like, I mean, imagine the time, especially when this came out and other, other albums at the same time. From a political perspective, like that's not something I think it takes a lot more knowledge and like understanding of Rage's music to really go in deep. Whereas like this, I think from Linkin Park with Meteora and their previous albums and kind of their vibe in general is something that's more easily accepted across kind of, a larger group. It's not
Yeah.
politically based, and it's emotionally based that everybody can kind of have a hand in or like has experience with.
Yeah, for sure. And I think like it's funny, artists like Kid Cudi, honestly, he kind of tapped into that same thing. Like, that's one of the things that made him so successful was the fact that he was kind of rapping about stuff that other people weren't rapping about, like emotional trauma and things that he had dealt with, and people kind of related to in the sense of like, yeah, I've had to deal with this too. I feel like Linkin Park kind of did that in the same aspect. Like, metal music and rap music at the time wasn't really about how tough your life was, like, and they kind of used that to propel their careers forward. I think it worked really well for them. And like, I know I mentioned those other bands, but like, I don't know, Linkin Park to me is one of a kind. They're very special and very unique in their music.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's no question in that, especially at that, looking back at that time, and what all of them are doing, but especially this was that kind of clash period, for artists like Linkin Park or even Limp Bizkit or something like that, where there was this rock going on, this like hard metal or rock or whatever you want to call it, and then you've got hip hop, and then you have these electronic music really started to take off around this era, and it starts to get sprinkled in and utilized in a really cool way, and it's like, who was really doing that?
Yeah, no, it's special, and it's interesting. There's a Rolling Stone article, and this came out in 2023, and it says Linkin Park reflect on Chester Bennington's allegiance to the band. He was, quote, all for one, one for all. So the article essentially says that they basically went to Chester Bennington and told him after Hybrid Theory that like the label wanted to make him the star. Like they weren't worried about the other band members. Like they wanted to basically build an image and a band around Chester Bennington. And they say, quote, but they kind of backdoored it to Bennington and went directly to him. And the sell in the pitch was, we're going to build a new thing that's all around you. You're the star. You're already the star. It should be all about you. So just like whatever about these other guys, we don't need them. He took us aside and he's like, hey, you guys, you need to know this. They did this to me today. This is what they said to me. And he recounted the whole conversation. And we were all like, holy shit. In my mind, I'm like, oh boy, this is the beginning of the end, right? Because they're right. He's incredible. He's the voice and we need him. I don't know if he needs us. Ultimately, Bennington informed his bandmates that he told the label guy to, quote, go fuck themselves. That was the start. To me, that was a real galvanizing moment. That was the start of the One for All. So I think that's fucking cool because I think like he definitely is the star and like his voice is the main draw to this music, but you could tell that it was important to him to keep them together and like he knew that the success relied on all of them and not just him, which I think is super nice.
That is badass. Yeah, it says he was ranked number 46 on Hit Parader's top 100 metal vocalists of all time.
Damn,
which is pretty fucking sick.
Who's number one?
I don't know. I need to go see. Let's see.
I want to know like what the top 5 is there. I'd be really interested to see. Damn, 46 now I think about it feels like, but there may be bands in there that like I don't listen to, that I don't know super well.
Yeah, I mean, they also are probably, I mean, they're considering probably Zeppelins and the Stones and fucking, all kinds of stuff in that. So yeah, I can't find it, but.
Well, the album debuted number 1 on the Billboard 200, sold over 810,000 copies in its first week. The singles were Somewhere I Belong, Faint, Numb, From the Inside, and Breaking the Habit. Holy fuck, that's a lot of singles. It has since sold 16 million copies worldwide, making it the 8th best-selling album of the 21st century. It's certified 7 times platinum. It was ranked number 36 on the Billboard Top 200 albums of the 2000s. Some of the songs from the album were remixed with some of Jay-Z's songs, obviously, which we know. And then in February 2023, it was announced that the band would release a 20th anniversary edition. So let's talk about the 20th anniversary edition that you fucking sent me earlier.
I'm be honest, like, so I sent you the link and I was like, let's do this. And then I went to it. I thought I just sent you the original album and didn't realize it was that deluxe bullshit. And fucking, it almost was enough to make me be like, you know what? Nah. Like, nah, like we're not going to do this.
We're not doing this fucking album.
It is the most fucking ridiculous thing I've ever seen. And we've talked about this kind of stuff before of if it takes away, this takes away. This is fucking ridiculous. And it seems like a giant money grab.
For those of you that don't know, the deluxe edition, the 20th anniversary edition has 89 songs on it. Okay.
5 hours.
5 hours. And I don't even know, like, what is, I didn't even look through it because I was like, this can't be fucking real. Like, so there's live versions of songs, which like, okay, that's pretty cool. But then there's like there's acapellas on here. There's demo versions. There's just a lot of shit on here, man. And I guess like if you're a diehard Linkin Park fan, right, and this is your favorite album of all time, maybe you get something from this that you haven't gotten before. But it just seems a little excessive to me. 89 tracks. Like
it's fucking, I mean, I'm dead serious. I saw it and was almost like, you know what, like, nah, like, let's not do this.
So Rolling Stone, upon release, gave it a 3 out of 5. So I don't know, that seems a little harsh by our friends over at Rolling Stone. What do you think, Christian, out of 10?
I'm giving this a solid 8 out of 10. It's fucking killer. It's a staple of my childhood. 8.
That's fair. 8. I think for me, man, I don't know. Like, upon re-listen, I liked a lot of this shit more than I realized I did, dude. So I think I'm gonna have to give it a 9, man. Honestly, I know it's really high, but fuck, I didn't want to skip anything. I didn't want it to end. I wish it were longer, but I do want to talk about, like,
it can be.
Yeah.
It can be.
It can be
It'll
about
pop
5
over that
times
deluxe
longer.
edition. Yeah.
I think 13 tracks is like the perfect amount actually for this. Like, obviously I wanted more, but I think like, you know, sometimes people get in the habit of dragging shit out too long. Like Drake's fucking 23 song album he just released where there's like 3 good songs on it. It gets fucking old, dude. It gets old.
I wonder what like hybrid. So I guess like my only thought in Rolling Stone rating it, what they rated it was like, I feel like a lot of publications like that look at the previous work, especially the previous work, and look at, you know, what has changed, where have they grown, and they're really, really similar as far
Yeah.
as like the style, as far as like the album themselves. Like I was just going back through Hybrid Theory and was like, this thing fucking rips just as hard, but it's the same kind of
Yeah.
music. So I wonder if that might have
They
something to
even
do with it.
Well, they do say much of Meteora adheres to the overly familiar rap rock template Linkin Park fit themselves into for Hybrid Theory, yet the band manages to squeeze the last remaining life out of this nearly extinct formula with volatile performances and meticulous editing. So, I mean, they do bring up the fact that it's very similar, but like that's the type of band they are. Like I don't see a problem with that, at least to me, you know.
How many copies did it sell again?
So total now it's up to 18 million copies sold worldwide, and it sold
Jesus. Yeah.
810,000 on the first week, which is fucking crazy.
Hybrid Theory was at is it 27 million worldwide, and it's 12 times platinum diamond.
Holy shit! Really?
Yeah.
God damn, that's fucking crazy.
In 2001, the album was the second best-selling album globally, selling 8.5 million copies
In a single year? Good God.
in a single year. That's fucking insane.
Did it say what the number one album was at that time?
No.
That was the year 2000?
2001. Second best album globally.
Highest selling album. Let's see. Did Eminem release an album? Oh, it was usually unusually the year's best-selling record, Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park, was not able to top the Billboard 200. Instead, The Beatles' One was crowned the most successful album of the year. God, Trey would have such a hard-on if he was here. Holy shit. He'd be like, yeah, deserved it. Definitely deserved it. Unreleased
God,
Beatles music, poorly mastered, definitely deserved it.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking kill me.
Okay, so yeah, Hybrid Theory, Linkin Park. That's our take. Go fucking check it out. If you haven't listened to it in a while, take a trip down memory lane. It's really fucking good, man. So I enjoyed it. Good pick, Christian. I want to do
Yeah, that was a fun one.
Oh wait, did I say Hybrid Theory? I meant Meteora. We should do Hybrid Theory though. I think sometime.
Yeah. I was going back through and I was just like, "Fuck, probably should have picked that one," but we'll have to rinse that one in the future
for sure. All right, so let's get into some sports talk, Christian. Some things have happened these past few weeks. So I want to start with the college football world. Your fucking Bama boys, I don't know what's going on, man. I keep expecting them to lose. I keep wanting them to lose. They keep showing that they should lose, but they're not fucking losing, man. What's going on? What is going on?
Honestly, I have no fucking idea. Like I've said before, there's moments where I'm like, they're amazing. They could be top contender. And then the absolute next play, it's the fucking worst thing I've ever seen. I straight up during the Tennessee game, we were down at half, like getting our fucking ass kicked. Milrow looks like shit. I'm like, we're going to go take the dog on a walk. We got up, we left the house.
Get me out of here.
And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So yeah, I have no idea. I think LSU waxes us, and that'll be the end of the conversation. But that's another one at home. Is that Bryant Denny? So
true.
I don't fucking know anymore. I don't know anymore.
Yeah, and what's interesting about Alabama, and I feel like this is only a conversation in college football, but if you go back and watch the games this season, they perform better at nighttime. Isn't that fucking strange? Like, they were getting their ass kicked to Tennessee, the sun set and they came out and they were a new fucking team. It's the same, that shitty team like 3 weeks ago they almost lost to, whoever the fuck that was. They played
Was it
during
USF or somebody?
Yeah. And they played during the day. The Arkansas game was during the day. Like, there's something about them in the sunlight that's not that's not fucking working well for them. I don't know what it is.
It's I'm telling you though. I think LSU comes in, waxes us, and then we can stop talking about it.
So they've jumped up to number 9 in the AP poll. Top 4: Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Florida State. So Georgia, I feel like, is overrated. Do you agree with that sentiment, or do you think they're actually
100%? Yeah, and they're just in that position because you can't take off a number 1 if they continue to win. And that's the only thing that's keeping them up there. They look fucking average, and the only person they have that's fucking just killing it every game is that Bowers kid. And isn't he hurt?
Yeah. Yep. And then we have Michigan, Ohio State, number 2 and 3. That'll be an interesting game yet again. Last year was fucking crazy. I remember watching it over Thanksgiving. That shit was wild.
And Michigan's getting investigated right now for cheating.
Michigan's fucking cheating, which is great. Very nice. Florida State continues to surprise me. They had some close losses as well. They barely beat, I think, Boston College. And I think their QB was injured for a little bit. I don't know. But I don't know, that the rest of the season is going to be interesting to watch. Oregon is number 8, which is surprising. Do you know who their one loss was? They're 6-1, and they're about to play Utah, but I don't remember who they lost to.
I don't actually.
And Utah just fucking waxed USC. So
waxed.
Mr. Heisman winner going to the NFL. He's done for the season, which is interesting.
I was just like, and he was just fucking talking so much. You see all the stuff where he was like, he would, if he couldn't go to the team he wanted to go to in the draft, he would just stay another year because he's making more money than he would if he went to the NFL. And then he was trying to ask for whatever team took him had to give him partial ownership.
Yeah, I saw that. He's trying to pull like a Michael Jordan, but like, bro, I don't know if you have the pull for all that. I'm gonna be honest.
And then you go get just like waxed out. I'm like, shut the fuck up. And that's what was driving me crazy about the fucking Bama game, dude. Like, we're down. One person makes like one big play and is like, talking shit, throwing hands to a first down. And I'm like, you're down by 14. Can you just shut the fuck up?
Yeah,
just go back to the huddle.
Especially in the first half when they were getting their asses fucking handed to them, dude. Tennessee put up like, what was it, 16 points or 17 points or something in the first half? Like, it's not the time for you to be talking shit, dude.
What are you celebrating right now, man? Oregon's loss was to Washington, who's ranked number 7.
Oh, right. That game was crazy. Did you watch that game?
Yeah,
they
that
lost
was
by
fucking nuts.
Fucking field goal, dude. Botched the field goal at the end of the game. So classic.
Have you seen Bill Burr's bit about like kickers and field goals and stuff? He's like, you have the fucking just most athletic, like men duking it out, for hours on the field. And you have games decided by this scrawny little bastard who's fucking kicking a field goal. He's like, this is how we're determining games.
It's fucking crazy, dude. And like, what's crazy is I think they lost it was like 45-42 or something. Like, they score a touchdown every goddamn drive and then they lose because their kicker botched the field goal.
Exactly.
So NBA is officially back. Today is the first game. The Lakers are playing Denver right now. The defending champions versus my Los Angeles Lakers. Yes, I am part of the team. The Lakers, obviously in typical Laker fashion, are down by 11 points right now with 6 minutes left. So that's, hey, another fucking season of suffering, baby. Let's get it. I'm so glad it's back.
It's early. It's early.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was, there's a lot of good shit. This is like peak sports season right now. Fucking MLB playoffs, basketball's back, college football's heating up, NFL is going on. So it's, there's a lot to watch right now. There's a lot to keep your mind off.
I love watching that fucking Sunday night primetime Eagles Dolphins, just like Tua, Jalen, Bama boys. And there's like, I think there were 5 Alabama players and 4 on Miami that were like in that game alone, and it was fucking blast to watch. But Jalen's a bad motherfucker,
dude. That fucking guy, man. The Eagles are insane right now.
And he just shows what I love about. He shows he throws these bomb ass crazy passes, and then just kind of walks to the side like
Yeah.
fucking business.
Yeah.
And, like,
Straight
just shakes
business.
hands. I'm
Yeah.
like, that's fucking gangster.
He's the real fucking deal, dude, for sure. So props to him, honestly. Okay, so did you watch Scream?
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about Scream, because it's fucking. We said we are gonna talk horror movies, and it's horror movie season. So I've seen Scream like fucking 100 times. But what did you think upon watch or rewatch? I don't know if you've seen it before.
It's just one of those that I mean, I probably go through every classic Halloween movie around this time of year. Like last night, I watched the OG Exorcist. We were watching Beetlejuice tonight, but we did Scream this weekend. And god damn, some of it's just funny to go back. Like they're comedies to me at this point.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's mainly just like you look at what acting is today, and then you go back and you watch Scream or just any of those like older, and you're like, what the fuck? What acting classes were y'all taking? Or were you? Was that even a thing?
Yeah, honestly, it's so like the thing is I think in terms of slasher movies, like Scream is the quintessential slasher. It's fucking perfect.
Oh, yeah.
It's so much better than any of the Friday the 13th, any of the Halloween movies. Like Scream, the meta humor in it, the entire time they're talking about being in a horror movie, and they follow that theme through all the Screams. Like that's really fucking funny to me. But man, when I texted you and Randy, and I was like, dude, this movie is so unintentionally funny. Just like the very first scene, he's like, it's so funny to me how bad he is at killing, how bad Ghostface is at killing throughout the whole movie. Like he's tripping over shit, he's getting locked out of doors. Like it's all simple shit, and he can't fucking do it properly. And it just, the whole thing makes me laugh. But it's always fun to fucking watch. And like
the one character that just like sent me the whole time was the like second killer in the duo, Stu.
Yeah,
like Matt Lillard. I think he plays the fucking in the real life Scooby-Doo movie. I think he plays Shaggy. And I'm just like, everything about him through that fucking movie is so god awful.
It's so, and what's funny is I was I realized when you watch it upon rewatch, it's so obvious who the killers are. And the most blatantly obvious part is at the beginning when they're all sitting by the fountain and they're talking about the killer, and fucking Stu goes, well, I didn't kill anybody, and Billy goes, nobody said you did. And he says it just like that. Like, could you make it any more fucking obvious who this is? So good. Ridiculous. And I love the part at the end where they're stabbing each other, like to try to like make it look like
what the fuck was that?
He's like, you nicked me, man, I'm bleeding out.
That's exactly how he says it too.
So fucking good.
Fucking what else was I watching? Scary Movie, like the original, where they're initially making fun of that, and it's like Carmen Electra, and she's like running through, and I think he like stabs her in the tit, and like her implant comes out.
Yes, and they're talking about they call Jennifer Love Hewitt Jennifer Love Huge Tits. And they're like, if somebody who played me, it'd be Jennifer Love Huge Tits. I fucking love that movie.
Jesus.
Yeah, we need to. I still got a couple more to rinse. I watched Friday the 13th 1 and 2, which nice. Man, like those are the 70s scary movies, dude. The special effects are so fucking bad.
It's so bad. It's good,
but it is fun to watch. Okay, last thing I got to tell you and the listeners, because this is a gym podcast now. I went to a fucking boxing class today, and I thought I thought I was gonna fucking die in this fucking boxing gym, dude. Like, it started off. There's rows. There's 10 rows of 3 bags in the gym, so there's 30 bags, and so like you start at the first bag. And he was like, all right, you do 1, 3, 5. So 1 is a left-handed jab, 3 is a left hook, and then 5 is like a body left hook. So he's like, all right, you do 1, 3, 5. And then the next bag, you do 2 5s. And on the third bag, you do 3 5s, and so on and so forth. So by the end, you're on the 10th one, you're fucking doing 10 body shots. But in between each bag, you had to do 6 burpees. So you're fucking doing you're doing the punching, you're doing the burpees over and over, and like at one point, this is at the beginning. This is the first part of the fucking class. I'm like, I'm dying in this place. There's no way I make it out of this. At one point, he comes up and like, "Yo, Blake, just drop down to 4 burpees, bro. Like, don't do 6." I was like, "All right, thanks, you're free."
And there's like basic ass moms in there that probably have their kid in the corner and they're like smoking you. Also, like, like you haven't thrown a punch in forever. How ridiculous did you feel throwing your first punch?
So ridiculous. Like, thankfully, by the end, like I felt like when grown men, like when you watch grown men try to ski for the first time that have never skied and they just look fucking like idiots. That's what I felt like. I felt like a baby deer that was learning how to walk. But then there was one, then like he would take us over and you would do like 10 rapid fire uppercuts. Like you would have the paddles and you would do the uppercuts, and then you wrapped around and you'd go down the line of bags, and each bag, he was like, each bag you do 6 jump squats. So you're fucking doing the punches and then you do 60 jump squats to get back to do the punches again. Like, dude, I'm telling you, man, I have never sweat so much in my life. Like, it was a fucking blast, and I want to go back like as soon as possible. But holy shit, it's gonna take me probably 10 classes before I can keep up with these motherfuckers.
You're not gonna be able to lift your fucking arms tomorrow.
No, there's no shot. I was earlier when I logged onto the computer, I was trying to move my mouse around and my hand was shaking. I was like, this is a fucking mistake, man.
Fuck yeah.
But they have, so you get 1 free class, so you really should try to do one with me because I want to see how,
and then
how
it's
you hold
$350 after that.
Dude, it's so expensive. Luckily, this place you can pay by the class. You can pay $10 a class, so I'll probably just do that. Word. But like, yeah, the membership itself, it's like $140 a month or something. It's fucking insane.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, so that's where I'm at on my fitness journey. I'm getting into boxing. So anybody who wants to cross me, y'all better watch out. I've done 1 boxing class and it's it's so game over for you guys. Like, honestly.
Dude, I've been switching up all my workouts. I fucking switched my chest up this week, and I've never been so motherfucking sore in my life.
Dude, you're up to what are you doing? 95s on
incline.
On incline? That's fucking insane, dude.
Before I did that was dumbbell. Before I did that, I was repping at the end 225 on incline barbell.
Holy shit. Just wait. Dude, if you think you're pumping weight now, wait till you get those steroids in your dick. You're gonna start slamming weights, dude.
I'm thinking about it, man. I gotta shrink my balls to match my little dick size.
Yeah, exactly. Because right now I've seen it. It's not proportional. It's very jarring.
It's massive balls, tiny dick.
Yeah, I don't know what Ari does down there. Like, maybe she kind of use it as a punching bag. Like, it must be.
Yeah, she's been taking boxing classes. What we do them at home.
Nice. All right. I don't have anything else. I don't have any tweets or videos. I fucking slacked. I wasn't worried about it. I knew we had other shit to talk about. So you got anything else to say, or we wrapping it up?
We got our rods.
Oh fuck, you're right. Shit balls.
Damn,
introduce yours.
So my track is it's by Kenny Mason, who I found out about through Jid's Forever Story. He's on that Dance Now track, and it just popped up that he had dropped an album on my Spotify. I was like, oh, let's fucking go check this out. And this one fucking rides. It's a very similar beat to shit that I love, like that song like Gristle. I don't know who that's by, but it's got this similar style to a lot of like hip hop that I fuck with, and I was like, oh, this is fire.
Yeah, look, man, I gotta say, no gay shit, but like you and I, musical soulmates, man. I'm telling you.
Yep.
We're just so in sync on our musical preference. Like, I fucking love this song. This shit rides so hard. It's the type of hip hop music that I fucking love. And also, I need to listen to the whole album because it got really good reviews. Like, they ranked it higher than a shit ton of other stuff that had come out this year, but I haven't had a chance to sit down and listen to it. So I need to go through and listen to it. But yeah,
he is like a sad boy kind of vibe track on that one called Side to Side, and it's fucking heat too.
Oh, so, I can get with that. Fuck yeah.
Check it and let me know what you think. Maybe we end up reviewing that one sometime soon.
Honestly. Okay, mine was Dust in a Baggie by Billy Strings. I'm on a hard Billy Strings kick right now. Like, for those of you who don't know, Billy is pretty much a folk artist. I wouldn't even consider him a country artist. Very heavy banjo, guitar licks. You know, the dude can fucking shred a guitar. And his intro riff in this song and the one he does like midway through the song is insane. So I fucking love this song. I've been listening to it like nonstop. So what did you think?
I fucking love this song. I had this in rotation. It's on my country grass and ass playlist. If anybody wants to go check out a just fire playlist of good country bluegrass, and it's got a little ass in there too. But I've been on this kind of style kick, especially that like faster bluegrass, like this Dust in the Baggie, absolutely rips. It's like similar to like Drinking in the Morning by Trampled by Turtles.
Yep.
It's like very much that kind of fucking vibe. So hard rides on that one.
Hell yeah, very nice. And I'm, we're kind of leaving the country music season, but I think Billy and Tyler Childers will probably stay in the rotation because I've been listening to them fucking nonstop. So it's been nice.
Fuck yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, hope you enjoyed. As always, sorry for the delay. We will be back. I don't know. Let's say next week. I don't know.
We're doing it. Listen, We're going to set it up to where if we have a guest on, then that works out. But we will always have a backup set up and be ready to fucking ride. We're not missing another one.
Fuck yeah. We're committed now. So thank you guys. We'll see you next week. Christian, always great. I will talk to you soon. See you guys later.
See you, brother. Peace.